Joyce Taylor and Barbara Pass have always been part of the OSU family and the Stillwater community. It started with their parents meeting at what was then called Oklahoma A&M.
After the war, my father came back, and my mother worked at the bursar's office, and she was the lady that handed out the GI Bill checks. How he ever mustered up the courage to ask her out, we still haven't quite figured out.
Hartwill and Martha Pass were married in 1949, after Bill completed his master's degree in agronomy. He would go on to work in small grains research at OSU.
Both my sister and I are Stillwater girls, so we were raised in Stillwater, and both of us attended Oklahoma State University.
The sisters both received bachelor's degrees from OSU. Barbara would go on to finish 2 master's degrees at the university, while Joyce moved to Kansas State for a master's in statistics. After graduation, Joyce joined the Army as an engineer. Barbara worked at Sandia National Laboratories in New Mexico and served in the reserves. She also became a hot air balloon pilot, often flying in the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. Eventually, both sisters moved back to their hometown and started looking for things to do in their retirement. After taking construction and woodworking classes at Career Tech, they remodeled Barbara's kitchen. But Barbara also became interested in the Botanic Garden at OSU and persuaded her sister to give it a try.
And it took her about 3 months to figure out she wanted to be a garden ambassador. She's really the grower in the family.
You know, we're really fortunate that all of the work that's required to keep this place going is supported by a tremendous troop of volunteers.
For me and for my sister, we were weeders. We loved to work in the dirt.
Weeding wasn't the only thing Joyce did. She also had the important job of taking care of Cowboy Kitty, the garden cat.
Well, I was a veterinary technician. That's what I re-careered into when I retired from the Army. And so when Cowboy gets in trouble, they call me. I'm the one who gets to take him to the vet.
Sadly, Barbara was diagnosed with late-stage cancer. Having already established the endowment honoring their father, which Joyce would later expand to include their mother, Barbara decided to do something special with her estate prior to her passing.
It was always, of course, our thought that we would just be 20-year ambassadors to the garden. When she was diagnosed with cancer, she realized that she was not going to be a long-term ambassador. So she decided that she wanted her legacy to be the endowment to the garden.
Joyce also has pledged part of her estate to the new endowment fund.
It was something I loved to do with her, so it just seemed appropriate to sort of join in with what she'd started.
It's humbling to know 2 people like them who have chosen this as where they're going to make their final mark on the world. And so we're extremely privileged to have interacted with them in so many ways, but for them to make that lasting impact.
So it's really allowed us to do these very major projects without reducing the resources that we have to use in the garden.
Every week you can still find Joyce working at the garden. And with the help of her friends, the memory of Barbara lives on there as well.
Well, this is the bench that the ambassadors donated to the garden in memory of my sister, and it's just a solid block of rock that sits here in a very quiet place where you can see the rock garden, which was our favorite part of the garden.
Joyce Taylor and Barbara Pass, 2021 champions for OSU Agriculture.